UFC 316 takes place this weekend, and this is my very first full card predictions. Um, we are going to see how I do. We are going to start off with Medeiros versus Chwinsky. I'm going to go with Medeiros. He has really good leg kicks, good boxing, good takedown defense. He's not too good in the clinch, gets kind of bullied around. And he also doesn't move his head off the center line. But his weakness is kind of straight shots, because I notice a lot of straight shots get through to him, which Chwinsky does pretty well, and I will get to that. Let me see here. He keeps his chin up, doesn't tuck it, and he's very open to counter shots when he crashes in. And he's not too good defensively. He's pretty hittable, but he's aggressive, so he can knock somebody out just as much as he can get knocked out. And Chwinsky, I don't like his striking. I think his striking's pretty mid. He likes straight shots. He likes throwing them, so there could be some success there. But he's got some good scrambles, but he's pretty flat-footed. Don't have no footwork. Awful defense. If he gets you down, he likes ground and pound a little bit, but nothing too impressive from Chwinsky, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Markel Medeiros here. Probably by finish, I would imagine. I'm going to go round 1 TKO for Markel Medeiros. Mark Chwinsky just does not look good to me at all, if I'm being honest with you. But we'll see. It is his debut, so maybe he'll rise to the occasion, but I'm not impressed by him. Moving up to Quillan Sakil versus Yanel Ashmuz. This is actually one that I'm pretty excited for. Let me find the notes I took on this one. I'm going to go with Quillan Sakil. Quillan is just... he can be controlled if it goes to the ground, which I don't see this going to the ground much. But he does show urgency to get right back up off of bottom. And either way, he has really good sub instincts. On the feet, he's got really slick technical striking. I like the way he strikes. He's dangerous on the feet and on the ground. Well-rounded. I like Quillan Sakil. I think he's really good. And I think he can be a player in this lightweight division. Maybe not ranked, but he'll probably be a mainstay. He could get ranked, but I think at worst for him, he's going to be a mainstay at the top of the unranked division. Yanel Ashmuz is... then they're both 8-1. Okay. He's athletic and explosive. He's very powerful, and he's really aggressive. But... yeah, I don't really think he's that smart. He crashes in. He can be flashy. He's got a really good chin. He's got some sneaky head kicks. His defense is also pretty good. I like his movement, but he's just not as technical as Quillan Sakil. I also think Quillan's a bit more... he's faster. Quillan is faster. And he's got a more well-rounded game. He doesn't hit as hard, but I don't know if I see him just getting flatlined. I think Quillan is much more talented, got more overall skills, and I think his fight IQ is really going to show here in this fight. I think he's going to stay. He's got good distance management too a little bit. I think he's going to stay out of range of the power shots of Yanel Ashmuz. So yeah, I'm going to go with Quillan Sakil here. Moving up. I was excited to go over this one. I think personally, Jeka Sergey is terrible. I'm going to go with Juyu. Easy. This is the easiest pick of the card for me. Juyu's got killer instincts. He's got really good ground control. He's very physically strong. He's a good grappler, good distance management, a slick boxer. Really likes to counter punch, which I think is really going to come in handy here against Jekka, who crashes in with absolutely no technique, no footwork, um, no defense at all, and he also can't grapple. I mean, the dude lost to Dvalishvili, and I don't mean that. I don't want to mean that as a bad thing, but Dvalishvili is just awful. I'm gonna go with Ju Yu. I think it's gonna be very, very easy, very dominant. He likes to bang. He can be taken down, but he doesn't accept bottom position. He always tries to get up. Good bouncy movement. He's gonna slip every shot of Jekka. He's gonna land. I mean, this is a perfect matchup for Ju Yu. Perfect matchup. Jekka, I don't know if I expect him to ever get another win in the UFC. I know he at least has one. I don't know if he has more than one. He shouldn't. But he's terrible. He's terrible. Ju Yu is going to run through him. He's better everywhere. Jekka allegedly has some power. I've seen some people put stock into it. He does throw everything he's got into every shot. So I guess if he can land, it can hurt. But he's not good. He's not good at all. He's going to get ran through. That's all I have to say. I don't really have to say much more. Ariane Da Silva, Ariane Lipski versus Wang Kong. I am going to go with Wang Kong here. She's a clean, powerful striker. She's patient and deadly. She's very fast. She picks people apart. I think Wang Kong is... I think she's just a better striker. She's got the credentials, too. She beat Valentina Shevchenko in, Muay Thai. She did lose to Fernandez, I believe her name was. It was not a good look, but I'm going to just chop it down to her being inexperienced in MMA. I mean, she's 7-1, so she doesn't really have that many fights. Versus 17-10 Ariane Lipski. Yeah, I'm going to go with Wang Kong. Wang Kong can be caught inside the pocket, I believe. And Lipski is dangerous. She does have really good finishing potential. But I like the pressure and the presence that Wang Kong has inside the cage. She's always the one going forward. For good or for bad, she's always going forward. I believe she's never been taken down in MMA. I think I did look that up and see she's never been taken down. If I'm wrong, my bad. But Lipski's aggressive and she likes to bang as well. But I do believe Wang Kong has got more power. I will say though, Ariane Lipski throws combos that usually ends in a kick. I really like that combination. It works a lot. It works a lot for her, especially against what was her name? The Australian woman, Casey O'Neill. Worked really well against Casey O'Neill. She dominated that fight. I did not expect that. It was a very beautiful performance. She's got clean striking too and some good sub ability. So if this goes to the ground, she could sub Wang Kong as well. I'm just not going to trust that. I'm going to trust Wang Kong to keep it on the feet and be the more efficient striker. I think she's going to win by decision. 29-28 is my best guess. Moving on to Chaos Williams versus Andreas Gustafsson. I am a fan of Andreas Gustafsson. I watched some of his fights today. He can be taken down, but he usually gets back up. He's not that great defensively though. He can be touched. 100%. Andreas Gustafsson can be touched, absolutely. And Chaos Williams does got that power. He has very powerful hands, but he relies on the power way too much, and I'll get to that. Andreas has got a really respectable chin though. His fight against God, I forgot his name. I watched it today. It was very bloody. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. It's like one of the best. It's one of the best MMA fights I think I've ever seen. It was crazy, and it showed a very respectable chin. I will say though, he is really aggressive. Andreas Gustafsson is really aggressive when when rounds start, but then he loves the clinch. I don't know what it is about Andreas Gustafsson, but he loves that clinch. He spends most of his rounds in the clinch, especially after he gets aggressive when the round starts. When the round starts, he loves to run across, blitz in, get a few shots off, and then clinch. He's not very technical, but he is a brawler. He is a brawler, and that can work. But yeah, Chaos is always down to bang, powerful hands, but he relies on the power, like I said. He's not technical, man, and he just kind of throws, hoping to KO you with every shot sometimes. I kind of thought that Carlson Harris was kind of getting the better of him in the striking until he got KO'd, which is okay. But Chaos Williams is pretty subbable as well. I know Gabriel Bonfim is really good, especially with his submissions, but I don't know. I see Andreas is a finisher. I'm going to go with Andreas Gustafsson by TKO round 2. I think I can trust in him in his debut here because I don't really rate Chaos Williams like that. He just relies too much on the power, and I think Andreas Gustafsson is really good at taking power. He's really good at taking shots. He's got a really good chin, and he loves to bring it. So I'm going to go with Andreas Gustafsson round 2 TKO here. Moving on, Sergey Spivak versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I was going with Sergey Spivak, since it's been announced. I only just changed my pick to Waldo today, after reviewing some footage on him. I think that Waldo Cortez Acosta is really good, especially for heavyweight. He has a really good record, 13-1. He can grapple. He's a big, strong boy. I mean, he's really strong. He's got good striking, especially for the heavyweight division. Not a lot of these guys are good strikers. And he hits hard, but so does every heavyweight, don't they? And he's got a pretty good chin. I've seen him take some shots. So. Yeah, Spivak is kind of slow. He's got incredible grappling, though. I do expect Sergey Spivak to have a bit of a grappling edge here. He took down and controlled Jailton Almeida. That is impressive to me. He did get up and end up TKOing Sergey Spivak. And I do think Spivak is he gets easily hurt. He gets hurt pretty easily. So if Waldo Cortez Acosta can start landing, I do expect him to really put some damage on Sergey Spivak. Sergey he's pretty strong himself. He's got really good takedowns, good submissions. But I don't believe in the striking of Sergey Spivak. I just don't. I don't believe in it. He is a finisher, though, but with his submissions. I think he's got, doesn't Sergey Spivak have the best takedown accuracy in the heavyweight division? I think he might have. He throws up a lot of submissions as well, if he is ever on bottom, which is pretty rare. He did submit Marcin Tybura like that. It was a really impressive submission, but I don't see that happening to Waldo Cortez Acosta. I think Waldo would beat Marcin Tybura, maybe. He might not, though. I don't know. Marcin Tybura is a weird case in the heavyweight division for me. But I just think Sergey, although he may have a bit of a grappling edge, I do think he's just a little too slow, and the striking of Waldo Cortez Acosta is probably a little too good for Sergey Spivak. I went with Sergey Spivak when this fight was announced up to today. So if I regret this pick, that's gonna suck. But I am gonna switch to Waldo Cortez Acosta here. Moving up to Azamat Murzakanov versus Brinson Ribeiro. This one I have some hot takes here, and I'm excited to share them. I'm gonna go with Brinson Ribeiro in this fight. He's got very quick hands. He's very aggressive. Good takedowns as well. He struggles with control, but he can wear on his opponents because I've seen him fail takedowns, but keep him up against the fence. and keep going for takedowns, which can really wear on opponents, make them tired. And Azamat Murzakanov has an awful gas tank. He truly does. He gassed out against, even though he ended up winning both fights, he just did gas out against, what's his name? Alonzo Menifield. He clearly gassed out, even though he still knocked him out. Alonzo Menifield is garbage, okay? He also was gassing. He was really slowing down against Dustin Jacoby before. But he won the first 2 rounds and lost the third round. I give the third round to Jacoby because of how gassed Azamat Murzakanov was. Although Azamat is a very powerful striker, he's deadly and patient and precise. He's pretty passive in the clinch, and Brenton Ribeiro loves to get in the clinch. He's a bit more aggressive in the clinch. I see Brenton Ribeiro failing some takedowns, being more aggressive in the clinch and landing, and then Azamat Murzakanov gassing out, and Brenton Ribeiro getting a 3rd round TKO. Brenton did get KO'd in round 1 against why am I forgetting names? Zhang Minyang, I think his name is. But he's really good, isn't he? He's really good. I think he would also KO Azamat Murzakanov in the 1st round. So, yeah. I think Brenton Ribeiro's, I think he's even better on the ground. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He has a few subs. I think his last fight is a submission win. I could be wrong though. He has a lot of losses, but he's fought some really good competition. I rate like most of his losses. And Azamat Murzakanov, I just don't believe in him. I don't really see what everybody sees. He is undefeated, 14-0. That's something to be proud of. It's impressive, but man, even in his wins, I just don't think he looks that good. You know? I don't know. I'm just not too impressed by him, which is crazy because he's 14-0. I just think he just kind of skims by a lot of times. And Brenton Ribeiro's bigger, stronger. You know? He might get KO'd, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Brenton Ribeiro, man. I'm going to go with Brenton Ribeiro. Moving on. Joshua Van, Bruno Silva. I'm going to go with Joshua Van here. Bruno Silva's pretty good, but let's be honest here. He was losing to Cody Durden. Cody Durden was piecing him up. And Joshua Van decimated Cody Durden. I know, MMA math, whatever. Joshua Van is just better. He's just a better striker than Bruno Silva. I do worry a tiny bit about the chin of Joshua Van. He did get KO'd by I keep forgetting these names. I'm not going to think too hard. Really tall, lanky dude for the flyweight division. But Bruno Silva, man, he hits hard. He does hit hard. But I'm going to go with Joshua Van. I think his boxing is too slick. Way too slick. He's very fast. He's powerful himself, even though he is very small. I don't believe he is 5'5". I believe he is smaller than that. 5'4". No, I think Bruno Silva is taller than Joshua Van. I don't believe these stats. We'll see when they're in the octagon, but I believe Joshua Van is smaller. Joshua Van has always been very small in the flyweight division. Noticeably smaller than everybody else, and I didn't really think the same about Bruno Silva seeing him fight. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Joshua Van by KO or by decision. by decision. Bruno Silva's pretty tough. And I do see him hurting Joshua Van a few times, so I'm going to go with Joshua Van by decision. 30-27. I'm going to give every round to Joshua Van. Next up, Vicente Luque, Kevin Holland. I made a short where I explained why I think Vicente Luque is going to win, but I'm going to explain it here too. Vicente Luque is better than Kevin Holland. He just is. Kevin Holland might get a slight striking edge here because he's really big for the division. He's really tall and he's long and he fights long. He uses the reach really well. But a lot of what seems to get Vicente Luque is when you back him up and land combinations on him. Kevin Holland is not a combination kind of fighter. He will throw one and back up. He'll throw one and back up. That kind of style is really good for Vicente Luque, I feel. And I do see Vicente Luque chasing grappling here. And I do see him getting Holland down. And I do think he will submit Kevin Holland here. I'm trying to think back to what I said in the short. Vicente Luque is an underdog here, and I think that's kind of ridiculous because I believe Vicente Luque still has some of the best jiu-jitsu in the entire division. And you look at what happens to Kevin Holland when he fights those kinds of guys that know their way around a submission. He gives up because Kevin Holland doesn't have title aspirations. He doesn't want to be a champion. He doesn't want this more than Vicente Luque, on top of the fact that I already think Vicente Luque is a more talented and skilled fighter. My only worry, yes, is the chin of Vicente Luque, because he had a brain bleed, and it's kind of hard to trust this kind of injury to come back and still be successful. But I trust it, man. Vicente Luque is tough by heart, and even though his chin might not be there, I believe in him to get through it. And I do see Kevin Holland maybe hurting him, but Vicente Luque is going to get that. No matter how it goes on the feet, Vicente Luque is going to get that takedown. He's going to get on top of Kevin Holland, and Kevin Holland loves to scramble, and that's when Vicente Luque has his best submissions, is when his opponent tries to scramble out and they get caught in a darce. You know, Vicente Luque is just good, man. He is just good. And I'm going to go with him in this matchup to submit Kevin Holland in round 2. Yeah. Vicente Luque round 2 submission. Moving up, Mario Bautista, Patchy Mix. This one was hard for me. I'm gonna explain why. I am not the biggest. I do watch other promotions every now and then, but I will admit I am not the biggest other promotion viewer. I stick mainly to the UFC. I will branch out every now and then if there is a name that I am aware of fighting in a different organization, and Patchy Mix has honestly not really been one of them. I always known he's been good, but I just never got to tune in to his fights. I know he's fast. He's a fast striker. He's an amazing grappler, great takedowns. He's got great submissions. He's a masterful back taker. I've seen some of his. I watched like 5 of his fights today, before making this video, and I'm very impressed by Patchy Mix. He's clearly really good. Some people think that, at least at one point, he was the best bantamweight on earth, and I don't know about that, But but Mario Bautista, he's bigger, he's stronger than Patchy Mix. He's very fast himself. I think Mario Batista is going to be much better on the feet in this fight. He's a really good boxer, and his grappling has really improved. It has really improved. He got submitted by Corey Sandhagen, which is a terrible look. I get it. But he has some submissions himself. He's well-rounded. He can be taken down, but he's a really good scrambler. He's strong, too, so I do expect Patchy Mix to take him down. I think Patchy Mix can and will take down anybody he so damn well pleases. But Mario Batista, I know a lot of people hate him. They're hating on him right now after his Jose Aldo performance, and that's fine. I see where the hate's coming from. But if we're being real, he can be flashy. He's very tough. He can be he's powerful, and you know, I watched Patchy Mix's only loss against Juan, and I think Mario Batista can do that, but a little bit better. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Mario Batista here, but honestly, a massive part of my pick of Mario Batista is because of I'm more familiar with him, and I have watched every single one of his fights. So, and I do believe in him as a player in the top of the division. So, Mario Batista by decision. But I do think if anyone's going to get a finish here, it's probably going to be Patchy Mix by submission. But I'm going to go with Mario Batista. Moving on, Kelvin Gastelum, Joe Pyfer. I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer. I think this is easy. I think this is a really easy pick. One of the easier picks in the card, too. Joe Pyfer is he's massive. He's huge. He's very powerful. I was going to rewatch his fight against Jack Hermanson, but I didn't get to it, unfortunately. Kind of forgot how that fight went. He did lose to Jack Hermanson, though, which was very surprising to me. Not very, because I know that Jack Hermanson's a really good, he's really good at beating these up-and-comers. I don't like to use the term fraud check. I hate that term. But if I were speaking as another sheep on MMA Twitter, I would say that Jack Hermanson is a really good fraud checker. I'm sure that's a term you guys would understand a lot. I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer, though. I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer by submission. I think Kelvin Gastelum, he can be submitted. He's been submitted before. I think he's done, to be honest with you. This is at middleweight, too. Yeah, I don't believe in Kelvin Gastelum in 2025, but I do believe in Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer. I think Joe Pyfer, I think they'll have a pretty even boxing match until round 2 when Joe Pyfer club and subs him. I think he's going to drop Kelvin Gastelum, hop on top, arm triangle, round 2, submits Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum he's a good boxer at times, but there's also been a lot of times where I've been very unimpressed by him. He got subbed by Sean Brady, didn't he? Joe Pyfer is not on Sean Brady's level of grappling, but Joe Pyfer is well-rounded, and he has some beautiful submissions himself. So I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer by submission. Moving on to the co-main event. Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison for the bantamweight title. I'm going to go with Kayla Harrison. I don't think Juliana Pena is good. And that's crazy to say, given that she's not only the champion, but a 2-time champion who beat and finished Amanda Nunes. But she never looks good. I can't think of a single... I've seen most of her fights. I can't think of a single moment where she looked good. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I can't stress this enough. Juliana Pena clearly lost to Raquel Pennington. She just did. I don't know how they gave her that, but I'm gonna tell you why I think they gave that to her. I think they gave the fight to Juliana Pena because she beat Amanda Nunes in the past, and they see that as a potential star-making performance, and they want to make a star out of Juliana Pena. But it's not going to work because she's not good. And I think Kayla Harrison is going to expose her. I think Kayla Harrison is going to be better on the feet and on the ground. I think she's a powerful puncher. She's going to pick her up and slam her and just get on top and just beat the shit out of her, I think. Maybe I'm wrong because Juliana Pena is a good grappler. She really is, I guess. At times, I don't know. I don't believe in her. I believe Kayla Harrison's going to throw her around. Kayla Harrison is fucking huge, dude. She looks like John Cena in a wig. So, and she's clearly strong. And on, she might, I don't know, Kayla Harrison might be on something. She might be on some gear. I don't know. I don't know if she's ever popped. I don't believe so. But just look at her, man. It's crazy. Yeah. Juliana Pena's win over Amanda Nunes, and I never used this term, but it was a fluke, dude. That shit could never happen again in a million years, and you've seen that in the rematch. I mean, how more dominant can you get in a fight than what Amanda Nunes did to her in the rematch? And that was Amanda Nunes on her way out as well. Juliana Pena is tough, though. I'll give her that. She could make it to a decision loss against Kayla Harrison. But I'm going to go with Kayla Harrison by submission. Rear naked choke, round 3. That's what I'm going to go with, my official prediction. Kayla Harrison, round 3 submission. But she might put Kayla Harrison in a few subs where it's like, oh, could she get this? But she's not going to because Kayla Harrison's going to pick her up and slam her. Official prediction, Kayla Harrison, round 3 submission. Now to the main event of Merab Dvalishvili versus Sugar Sean O'Malley. This is a pick I also switched last minute. I went with Sean O'Malley in the first fight. I thought Sean O'Malley was going to be able to catch him and put him out cold. And I think he's going to do that again. I'm going with Sean O'Malley again. Personally, I don't want to hear that Umar Nurmagomedov had the best performance against Merab. I think it was Sean O'Malley. I think Sean O'Malley has the best argument to have beaten Merab of anybody. You can get, if you are really trying to give Sean the fight and looking for anything to give him rounds, you can give him rounds 1, 3, and 5. Round 5 is no doubt easily Sean O'Malley's round. Right? I don't care what Merab or his fan base says. Sean O'Malley had Merab hurt to the body badly in round 5. And had there be a 6th round, O'Malley probably would have finished him. But there's not 6 rounds, there's only 5. And O'Malley failed to finish Merab, so Merab won. But that fight was by no means dominant. No means dominant. And I hate seeing that. I will say though, Sean's a bit fragile and weak, whereas Merab is pretty strong. There is a physicality difference here that clearly leans towards Merab Dvalishvili. But Sean O'Malley, I was going with Merab for the rematch until it was made, up until this week, because I was thinking, you know what, Merab's probably just going to do the same thing again. Go for the takedowns. If he fails them, oh well, it's his game plan anyway. Land a few shots, go for another takedown, and repeat that. And just out cardio Sean O'Malley like he did in the first fight and like he does all of his other opponents. But Sean O'Malley has convinced me. Sean O'Malley has convinced me, I think. The no dyed hair, the no smoking weed, the no video games, the no choking the chicken, you know. He has convinced me a little bit, and I think Sean's gonna be a lot more comfortable in this rematch, given he's got the pink shorts. Probably gonna, if I think the pink shorts can probably just make him a bit more comfortable in there physically, somehow. Instead of having those ugly ass sphere shorts that nobody liked. And he also said he had some problems. Sean O'Malley made a lot of excuses, which, to be fair, I don't know if they're real or not, but he says that they're gone this time. And if that's the case, Sean O'Malley's probably going to spark him out cold this time. Merab has never had a rematch, and Sean O'Malley, I believe, has only had one. And he dominated Cheeto. To be fair, Merab would dominate Cheeto as well, but Sean O'Malley he's a sniper, man. He is a sniper. You give him the chance and he's going to put you out cold. Merab didn't give him that chance last time, but I was surprised that he survived 25 minutes against Sean O'Malley. You're going to give Sean O'Malley another 25 minutes to knock you out? I don't see Merab's game plan changing much. You're giving a sniper like Sean O'Malley 50 minutes, essentially, to find a knockout on you. Almost an hour to find your chin. I believe he can do it on anybody. So, I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley in the rematch. If I'm wrong, I'm going to look stupid because Merab has looked unstoppable for so long. And fun fact, the only guy I have... I was about to lie. I was about to lie and say the only guy I have ever picked to beat Merab was Sean O'Malley, and I'm doing it twice. But I'll admit, I was a bit biased, and I didn't want to admit that he was done. And I did pick Marlon Moraes to beat Merab. To be fair, he almost did. Any other ref in that position, and he might have stopped it and given that win to Marlon Moraes. But other than that, I've never picked against Merab Dvalishvili, other than Moraes and Sean O'Malley. And I feel like I was one of the few that picked him against Umar. But I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley. I like the time away. I like the fact that Merab had a training camp for a totally different style in Umar Nurmagomedov, while Sean O'Malley spent that entire time continuously training for Merab. Because let's be real, he knew he was getting the rematch. We all knew he was getting the rematch in his next fight. So, I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley. If I'm wrong, I'm going to look really dumb. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. Those are my picks for UFC 316. We'll see how much I get right, how much I get wrong. I'll post a percentage on my Twitter for the card. Follow my Twitter. It's the exact same name and profile picture as this channel. I'm excited for this card. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm very confident in a lot of my picks. I put a lot of time and research into these, watching tape the entire week, really dissecting. I gotta yawn. I'm tired. I'm going to bed right after I post this. So yeah, I will be going with Sean O'Malley. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna be posting my reaction to the press conference. I'm going to react to the press conference and show the whole press conference. I'm hoping it doesn't get copyrighted. I'm hoping they allow it on YouTube. If not, I'll do something differently for the next press conference. I'll probably play UFC 5 and just have the audio of the press conference playing in the background or something like that. I'm not sure. But I will record that and post that tomorrow. And then after that, I won't see you guys until the results video for this card. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'm a bettor, so I will be placing bets. I'll probably place a parlay with Sean O'Malley, Kayla Harrison, Joe Pyfer, Vicente Luque. I like to go big bets. Big bets, low wagers. $1, $2 wagers for like 5, 6, 7 leg parlays. That's my style. I'm probably going to do Sean O'Malley, Kayla Harrison, Joe Pyfer, Vicente Luque, Joshua Van, Jusang Yu, and Markel Maderos. To be fair, they do hit sometimes. Most of the time, not. But they do hit sometimes. Sometimes I get some good bangers. Alright, I'm going to stop dragging this. I got to go to bed. It's 1 a.m. Hope you guys enjoy the card. Hope my picks are great, and we'll see. Thank you guys.